As many of you already know, Remy Ma has long been considered one of the most respected rappers to come out of New York. For years, many fans have argued that she never received the level of recognition and shine that her talent truly deserved. Despite her influence, it often felt like the industry overlooked her contributions. Now, however, it seems like a new wave of attention is coming her way, though not necessarily in a positive light. Recently, it appears that Thee Stallion may have taken a subtle jab at her, and a lot of people online are starting to notice. In my opinion, when Megan used a particular line that closely resembles something Remy Ma said years ago, it came across as clear shade. I know some people may disagree, but once you break down the context and the lyrics, the connection becomes hard to ignore. The situation didn't stop there either. Megan also praised boxer Claressa Shields in a way that many listeners interpreted as another indirect dig toward Remy. When you put these moments together, it starts to look like more than just coincidence. What's confusing about all of this is that Remy Ma has largely stayed out of drama recently. For a while, people were saying she wasn't even a factor in the current female rap scene anymore. The narrative online often suggested that she wasn't an issue, that she wasn't a threat, and that newer artists had moved past her era. Yet at the same time, some of these same artists appear to be referencing her style, her phrases, and even the type of wordplay she used years ago. Fans constantly debate Remy Ma's legacy. Some people try to minimize her impact by comparing her to other rappers and claiming she wasn't as commercially successful. But ironically, many of those same critics seem eager to adopt elements of her style. They chase the street credibility she built and borrow the type of gritty wordplay that made her stand out in the first place. The truth is that Remy Ma has always been somewhat underrated. She may not always dominate mainstream charts, but her influence on female hip-hop, especially in New York, is undeniable. Let's go back for a moment and talk about where this particular lyric discussion started. The bar in question comes from the Bucket Naked remix. That track was originally done by Papoose, and Remy Ma appeared on the remix version. The song was released through TuneCore around 2010, during a period when Papoose was associated with that distribution platform before later working with Win Records. There's still a YouTube audio upload of the track floating around online today for anyone who wants to hear it for themselves. Shout out to everyone who pointed this out in the comment sections and discussions online. A lot of fans went back, dug up the original track, and highlighted the lyrics that sparked the debate. When you actually listen to the record, you can clearly hear the line people are talking about. Remy delivered a bar that included the term papoosey, a clever play on words referencing her husband Papoose. At the time, it was funny, creative, and personal. It worked because it connected directly to her real-life relationship. Fast forward to today, and some listeners feel that Thee Stallion reused a similar concept in one of her more recent verses. The comparison became even louder when Claressa Shields made a comment during one of her live streams. In that clip, Shields was casually eating and talking, and at one point she used the same phrase. The moment quickly circulated online, with fans pointing out how closely it resembled the wording Remy Ma used years earlier. Because of that, some fans have started speculating that Claressa Shields may have been listening to Remy's older music and referencing it intentionally. Others think it could simply be the phrase spreading through pop culture. Still, the timing raised eyebrows. To understand why people are making this connection, it helps to look at the original lyrics. In the Bucket Naked remix, Remy raps about downloading footage from a phone onto a computer, turning it into a movie-like moment in a master bedroom with a jacuzzi. It's playful storytelling mixed with confident wordplay. Within that sequence, she delivers the now famous line involving the Papoosey reference. The cleverness of the line comes from the fact that it ties directly to her husband's name. It's not just random slang, it's a personal joke embedded in the rhyme. That's why fans say the phrase makes perfect sense coming from Remy Ma. She's literally married to Papoose. The wordplay reflects their relationship. When similar language shows up in other artists' lyrics or live streams, listeners naturally start drawing comparisons. In Thee Stallion's remix of Juvenile's track BBB, she included a line referencing a jacuzzi and later followed it with a phrase echoing that same Papoosey wording. Shortly after that, Claressa Shields used the phrase during her live stream as well. The internet immediately exploded with reactions. Many fans praised the line, calling it clever wordplay. Some even said it was one of the funniest or most creative bars they had heard recently. But other listeners quickly pushed back, pointing out that Remy Ma had already used that concept years earlier. From their perspective, Remy Ma was the originator. What makes the debate even more interesting is the context of Remy's relationship with Papoose. The two have long been seen as one of hip-hop's most loyal and supportive couples. Their relationship became widely known during Remy Ma's time away, when Papoose remained publicly devoted to her. When she came home, their wedding and family life were showcased to the world, especially during their time on reality television. Many viewers admired the way they supported each other. While every relationship has challenges, the public image of their marriage was largely positive. Fans saw genuine affection, loyalty, and partnership. Because of that, when Remy made a playful bar referencing her husband's name, it felt authentic. Even today, regardless of rumors or speculation about their relationship, Papoose is still legally her husband unless official divorce paperwork says otherwise. That context makes her original lyric feel personal rather than borrowed slang. Another aspect that often gets overlooked is how Remy Ma rebuilt her career after serving time. When she returned home, New York showed her a great deal of love. She quickly reconnected with the hip-hop scene and secured opportunities, including her role on Love and Hip Hop. That platform helped introduce her story to a new generation of fans. Although she already had a name in hip-hop before that, the show expanded her visibility and allowed her to secure new business ventures. Since then, Remy has continued building her brand. One example is the Remy Network, where she produces and hosts content. Instead of getting pulled into every online argument, she has focused on developing her own media platform and projects. Fans who support her often point out that she seems more focused on growth and entrepreneurship now than on engaging in petty industry conflicts. That's why some people find the recent lyric comparisons frustrating. They feel that Remy Ma's contributions to hip-hop are frequently overlooked until someone else echoes something she did first. At the same time, debates like this are nothing new in rap. Hip-hop has always been full of references, homage, and sometimes outright borrowing. Artists inspire each other constantly. The line between influence and imitation can be blurry. Still, fans tend to defend the artists they believe originated certain ideas. In this case, supporters of Remy Ma argue that she deserves recognition for creating that particular phrase years ago. From their perspective, the evidence is right there in the older track. On the other side, supporters of Thee Stallion might argue that wordplay evolves and spreads naturally in the culture. They may see it as coincidence or simply part of hip-hop's tradition of remixing ideas. Regardless of where someone stands, the conversation itself highlights how much people still care about lyricism, originality, and credit in rap music. Remy Ma's career proves that influence isn't always measured by chart numbers alone. Sometimes it shows up years later when newer artists echo a phrase, style, or cadence that fans recognize from earlier work. In the end, this situation says just as much about hip-hop culture as it does about the artists involved. Fans are passionate, protective, and quick to analyze every bar. Whether you believe Megan and Claressa were intentionally referencing Remy Ma, or whether it was just coincidence, one thing is clear. Remy Ma's legacy continues to spark discussion more than a decade after that original verse. And honestly, that in itself speaks volumes. At the end of the day, Remy Ma is still out here building her brand, running her network, and maintaining her presence in the culture. She doesn't appear to be chasing every controversy or responding to every online debate. Instead, she seems focused on moving forward. For supporters, that approach only adds to her image as a veteran who has already proven herself. She has survived the ups and downs of the industry, rebuilt her career, and continued creating opportunities for herself. So whether people call her underrated or influential, one thing is certain. Her name continues to come up in conversations about female hip-hop. And when lyrics from over a decade ago are still being compared to new verses today, it shows that her impact hasn't faded. That's the story as many fans see it right now. What do you think? Is this a case of homage, coincidence, or something else entirely?